So today I'm going to talk to you about the Monocle tea infuser. Um, I really like this one. It's a large infuser. The basket on this is very good sized. So when you put your tea in there, it has a lot of room to move around. What you can't really see here is perspective, so I have another one of my tea mugs with me, and I can show you the infuser, and this one is quite small. So when you're dealing with loose leaf tea, to get a better brew, you want to have room for the leaves to move around, and sometimes they'll sink and they'll float, and there's just not a whole lot of room in this type to do it. But in this one, we have a lot of room. Now when you're putting water in this, because of the way this is designed, where it has a lid on the infuser basket, you can go right up to the top of that with your water. Some of these, the infuser basket snaps into the top and then there's nothing on top of it, and you have to be really careful not to go over the top, because then the leaves will float out and you'll end up with them around your mouth part. But this is a very nice design because it is all enclosed. Another nice thing about that is you can put your tea in here and brew it, and then take this out. You can use this part still if you want to, if you want to have some kind of strainer there, or you can just drink it straight out. As you can see, this is a double-walled glass tumbler. The main advantage to that is it'll keep your tea warmer longer if you're making a hot tea, and it will also help you avoid burning your hands. I've had some of these that have a neoprene sleeve on them, and those are nice for the heat, but they smell terrible, so I always end up not using those. So I'm going to grab a teaspoon over here. This is actually made for tea, so it's bigger than a teaspoon. It's a teaspoon and a half. And talk to you about, okay, so there's two kinds of different ways you can use this as far as cold brew, which I'm doing a lot of in the summer. I'll grab a couple of my cold brews over here and show you. Here's one that I'm doing with some leftover tea bags, and in a very similar mug. They could be made from the same factory, couldn't they? So the way you cold brew, the way I cold brew, is throw whatever tea you're making in the actual mug. I'm going to put a little more. This is my favorite tea and my favorite tea company. Little plug there. Fill this full of water. I use the filtered water out of the refrigerator door. Screw that on before you do anything else. But screw that on, attach it, put it all in the fridge. I usually set mine up the night before and drink them the next day. And right now I'm using up old leftover stuff, so that's why I'm using tea bags, but I almost always use loose leaf. But we're going to do a hot brew. So for a hot brew, you want the leaf, maybe not quite as much as for a cold brew. I'm going to put about 2 of these teaspoons in there. Be sure and screw this on. Don't be like me. Put it down in there until it clicks. Okay, so I use a kettle. This is a black tea, so I'm brewing it at boiling. You can see it looks very hot. Hey, kitty. And I actually filled that up more than I should have, because it has come up over the little handle. I might burn myself. So again, don't be like me. I would say on second thought, because this creates a seal there, you might just want to fill it up to the bottom of that notch. Now, I'm going to brew this for 4 minutes. And because there's really nothing for you to look at for 4 minutes, I'm pausing the video and I'll be right back. So here we go, we're in the home stretch. There's about 20 seconds left on the timer. You can see what a gorgeous brew we have going here due to that large brew basket. I tend to brew this particular tea every time I test a new tumbler so that I can have consistent results. Hey kitty cat, my kitty's visiting us. Okay, so now it's done. I do think I can get this out without burning my fingers. The main thing is just don't cover up this little handle and you'll be fine. Now, I'm just going to let it drip a little bit. In this case, this is a very good quality leaf, and I like to brew this one twice. If nothing else, I'm going to cold brew it later, but I may hot brew it again. It just kind of depends on how I feel. And I'm at home, so I'm just going to set this over next to my sink. And, you know, the leaf's all packaged up and ready to use again. And again, this is a really nice filter set because look how tiny the holes are. The water can get through, but any tiny particles of tea or lavender or whatever else happens to be in there has not gotten through and isn't floating around in the tea. So I don't have to worry about anything getting into my mouth when I drink it. At this point, if you sweeten your tea, go ahead. If you don't, that's fine. It's a little bit warm. It's nothing unbearable. And of course, we always have to test and see if it leaks. So let's see. It feels like it has a very good rubbery seal there. No leaks. You can see there's nothing on the paper towel. So I would feel totally confident tossing this in a book bag or something like that. And I have had some of these that I've done that shake test on, and they would leak all over the paper towel. So that's a good indication. So I must ask you a question. Why haven't you bought this yet? Thanks for watching.